Now I would like to invite our next speaker, and today's guest of honor is Abha Maryada Banerjee. Abha Maryada Banerjee, a former lawyer, is India's first internationally acclaimed woman motivational speaker and the initiator of the personal development industry in India in 2009. She introduced mental strength coaching for Indian Olympians, and that got India's birth at the London Olympics and medal at the Commonwealth Games. She is the founder of Success India, a social impact intervention company launched with an aim to democratize personal developmental education and make it mainstream. The work revolves around optimizing human potential in and for change. She is also the founder of Asia Leaders Consortium, a non-linear think tank of leaders from across Asia. She is here with us today to talk about master the infinite mindset. I request you, ma'am, to take over the session from here.
Ma'am, we would request you to please unmute your audio. Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, hi everybody, good afternoon. How was your day, everybody? Put that in the chat box, please. I'm so glad to be here. Can I say hi, good afternoon, hello? Hello, everybody. So nice to say hi to all of you. And I hope you had a great day. Hi, hello, hi, good afternoon to everybody. I can see the chat box running in front of me. So that's nice. It's a nice way to start the day. And let me start by saying that I'm going to speak for an hour. And this hour could be a transformational hour for all of us and all the participants over here. Okay, so anybody who thinks I'm speaking fast or my accent is not the same as all of you, please stop me and tell me to go slow. But all I want to tell you is that this hour could be a transformational hour for all of you. And in the chat box, I want you to please put together quickly what are you expecting from this 1 hour when I'm talking to you, because it is going to be transformational for me. It is going to be a change maker for me. It's going to be something that's going to blow my mind away for me, because I'll be talking to all of you, and it is going to be something that I'm going to take back with me. So you have to tell me in the chat box, what are you expecting for this from this hour? Okay, so quickly you can put that over there. Now let me start. Okay, we are going to be talking about something called mastering the infinite mindset. This is a psychology conference, and I'm sure there are a lot of very eminent people over here who have who are going to give you the technical details, who are going to give you the science behind psychology and the human mind. I am the person who says that, who lives that part every day. So I'm going to be giving you practical tools of how you can do that. So if you listen to me very carefully, please know I am no teacher, I'm no guru. My job and my expertise is to put together this wisdom that we all have, and to make it possible for all of you, to make it doable for all of you, to make it easy for all of us. And it's no quick fix. There are no quick fixes there. It is only about how best can we function with our minds, with our bodies, with our hearts, with our knowledge, with our understanding. So I'm going to give you a framework through which you can function. Okay, so it is an important part for you to please listen very carefully. If you have notepads, if you have something to make notes on, please make notes, because I am going to be speaking as well as sharing a presentation midway through that. Okay. When I say this, you people are going to be going back home with the same problems that you came with, but you may also be going back home with some solutions right now through this hour. So I'm very interested in knowing that people understood what I said and they are taking back something that is worth their time. So please be absolutely aware. Please be in a state of receiving. Please take what I say. Don't ask a lot of questions. Just think where it can apply to you, and then apply that to yourself. Now, when you're writing, as you write notes, whatever I say, just in your life, just make a note saying, okay, this is what applies to me in XYZ area. So do that. Okay. Now, here is the thing. We are living in times of so much possibility, but also extreme confusion. So, society, the way society runs, we are literally moving backwards because of the ifs and buts of society. There are so many ifs and buts. None of us know whether we're doing the right thing. With a show of hands, how many people over here think they're doing the right thing? And how many times do we ask ourselves and question ourselves whether we are doing the right thing or not? So, a lot of people, the way society lives, yes, yes, somebody came up. We are not sure whether we are doing the right thing or not because of the ifs and buts of society. What happens then is that it leaves us in a space where we are continuously questioning ourselves, not able to do what we think is right for us. And we are playing a tangential role in society. We are on the corner, we are in the periphery. We are not in the midst of the game. We are not in the play field because we are asking so many questions to ourselves. Why are we asking questions? Because we believe we do not know whether we are doing the right thing or wrong. So we're going to decide what is the right thing. Okay? We're going to decide what is the right thing for all of us. Who tells you that except yourself? Who tells you that? Except yourself. And we listen to everybody except ourselves. Don't we do that? Yeah. And we listen to everybody. We are told by so many people what is the right thing to do. Advice is okay, feedback is okay, everything is okay. But ultimately, we take the call of what is right and not so right for us because it has to apply to us. It has to apply to my personality. It has to apply to my strengths. It has to apply to who I am as a person and what I can do, where I'm going. And we keep stopping ourselves. And that's what we are going to do today. We have to stop stopping ourselves. Yes, certain things are thrust upon us. That's why we are doing this session today. We got to stop stopping ourselves and understand which framework to work in. So even if we do things our way, even if we make mistakes, we know for a fact that this was the right thing to do and it is adding something to us. And why I say that? Because the kind of massive changes we are seeing around us, our abilities come under question every time. Our abilities are continuously on this question mark, whether or not can I not, should I not, will I be able to do it or not, and will it look good, will it be right, will it be wrong? So we need to answer those questions today. Okay. uh, Immense possibilities today, immense uncertainty as well. Somebody said uncertainty, I was coming up with that word. Immense possibility as well as immense uncertainty because there's not enough knowledge around how to function in the space of uncertainty. Okay, outside of you will always be uncertain, but inside of you can become certain. If you can make a note of that, that inside of you can be certain because you know what is inside of you. So if you were to deal with uncertainty with the certainty that exists within you, how do you think things are going to change or function for you? It will be a huge difference to the way you ever do anything at all. Now, in this set of participants who are listening to me today, there may be the next generation of top performers. There may be geniuses. There may be mavericks. There may be dynamos. There may be the future Mark Zuckerbergs. There may be the future Jeff Bezos. There may be a future Prime Minister Modi here in the group. How do we know? We know there's an answer there. Let me take you to my screen and show you my first slide. How do we know? Can you? Yeah,
We can, yes, ma'am, we can see the screen.
you can see. Okay, now
We are
yeah.
on functionality slide.
Not functionality. We have to go. We've gone right. Once.
Ma'am, you can scroll up. Yeah,
Okay,
3G
okay.
International
Got
Psychology.
it. Got it. Got it. Okay, here we are. Okay, so like I said, in this participant group, I'm sure there are some people who are going to be the future visionaries of the country. There are people who are going to be high achievers. There are people who are going to be the high performance individuals. There are people who are going to be, the smart people, the heroes of society. But how do we know who's a hero? There is a way society or the workplace or the businesses check on people. And that check is, please read the screen, that there is actually a shortage of people who can get things done. So if you can just make a note of that, ask yourself, can you get things done? Ask yourself that question, can you get things done? So there is a shortage of people in this world who can get things done without causing a problem, without excuses, without grumbling. So there is so much to do, like it says on the screen, there's so much to do, and a lot of people have no idea how to do that. And that is the biggest problem. So if you are a person who can get things done, give yourself a tick mark, a green tick mark on your sheet of paper that you have passed the first test of functionality. Can you get things done? And if the answer is yes, put that in the chat box and tell yourself, give a pat on your back, because the answer lies in you and how well you function. So when I say functionality, what does it really mean? We're going to come to that. And this question I'm asking for the third time, everybody put that in the chat box. Can you get things done? Are you resourceful enough mentally, emotionally, as a personality, as a person, with your state of knowledge, with the way you do things, with your drive, with your sense of achievement, with your vocabulary, with your intelligence? Are you functional enough and optimally functional enough to get things done without causing trouble? So this is the first question. So yeah, please, thank you very much for all of the people who are responding just now. This is the question you got to start yourself with. Are you functional enough? Somebody said, Kalpana Gupta says, yes, functional, but not optimal. Kalpana, we are coming to that. So I'm going to start with functionality so you can ask the right questions to yourself. Are you functional enough to get things going for you? Can you get things moving? Can you get things done? The world needs such people. We are in the place where this is part of your mindset. Are you of the mindset which can get things done? How about this group become the set of people who can cheerfully accept challenges? How many of you can accept challenges? Yeah, I mean, thank you for those answers, because you've got to put that there and ask yourself this question, because this is going to lead you to your success or failure, right? So in this group, if this group was the kind who said, okay, I am going to be taking on any kind of challenge, I can get into a challenge and turn it around. How many of us can say that? I can take the initiative and get things moving, right? So there are people who are working on it. There are people who say yes. There are people who say somewhat, and that's how truthful we have to. There's somebody said, Garbita, you said depends. That's unfortunately, I'm sorry, but that's not a very good answer here, because you need to. There is no depends. Either it is there or it is not there. So if you can, you cannot. This is the self-talk that you give to yourself. Triparna, you say challenges become wearisome. That's their job, because the challenges are supposed to build your endurance. They're supposed to build your mind. When you get weary, you rest, you get up again, and then you again start doing it. And then ultimately, the if you've already worked on a challenge and it doesn't succeed in the first go, you have done nothing. You just spent your time and come back home. So you need to move across and move to the other side of the challenge, and you will get weary on the way. You will get tired on the way. You may fail on the way. We're going to come to that also later. So this is what it is. Can you get things moving? Can you take on challenges? Can you take the initiative? Are you the kind of person who can get things moving? Yeah, there's fun in doing a challenge. Once you get the idea why challenges are important, because winning over a challenge is gives you a sense of infinity, that you had the capacity in your mind to broaden yourself to face a challenge which you had no clue about earlier. So what happens? You have worked here, you work from your heart, you work from your knowledge, you work from your intelligence, and you actually move forward. So this is a growth point when you can move forward from a challenge and use all of you. So you have to utilize and leverage every part of you. And that is about the infinite mindset. Okay. Now, like I said, it needs a lot of mental power. Yes, Tanya, that's the idea, because it is about your own confidence. Your self-esteem depends upon it. Your confidence depends upon it, your happiness depends upon it, a lot of stuff depends upon it. So if we stay stuck in a challenge and we give up on the way and say, my God, this is not something I can handle, then what happens? Your self-esteem, confidence, everything goes down. Your happiness levels go down. Your sadness levels become higher, and then it percolates into every other area of your life. So we need to know when there are challenges, and when I say get things moving, get things done, nip it in the bud. Take on the challenge, kill it. Kill it on the way. Get there and kill it. Don't let a challenge stand in your way, because that challenge will stand in the way of your growth. And therefore, you need an infinite mindset that the option should never come to an end. When you say, I can take on a challenge, the options that you can come up with should never come to an end. You can come up with something and then get the challenge going. Get moving. Momentum is very important. You cannot stop the momentum of life, and that is the key sign of an infinite mindset. You see a lot of people have got their first career, they are there for the next last 20-30 years, and they're fine with that. A lot of people are fine with that, and if they are fine, there's nothing you can do about it. But I don't want that to happen to this group. There is a Triparna Banerjee, ma'am, does demoralization uh, and wait, one's ability to take on challenges whole. Yes, Triparna, that's what I'm trying to say. If you allow a challenge to stay for a longer time, and if you fail, for example, you're not able to solve it, you are now telling yourself that I am incapable. My abilities are not good enough. And that is going to affect all of you, your confidence, your self esteem, and everything else that you do. And that kind of demoralization should be stopped. You can get sad. When we fail, we are supposed to feel bad. Okay, but you still have to move forward. So I use the word momentum. Please note that word down. Momentum. Do not let any challenge stop your momentum on the way. So uh, Saida says that she's not satisfied without it. Yeah, Saida, stagnation is part of a very very finite or fixed mindset, because you're not moving forward. As you move forward, challenges will come. You will continue to fight them. You will continue to get better as a person. It is a very very important part of life in general, and for success in general. Okay, so we move to the next slide. Somebody asked, Triparna, who just asked me about demoralization. Let me take you to the next slide. Uh, just 1 second. Oh, I've gone backwards. Sorry.
Ma'am, you can click on escape, ma'am, and you can
Yeah,
go
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I have somebody helping me here. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, yeah. It's coming. So next.
Yeah, ma'am, we are on living your potential is the
Yeah,
only.
yeah. Why am I okay? There's something on the side of the screen, so I'm not able to see what's okay. Never mind. Living your potential is the only way to joy. Okay, so Triparna, this is to answer your question just now, where you mentioned demoralization. A word called stagnation came up. Somebody said depends. We are living to be joyous, right? Do you agree? We want to be joyful. We want to be happy. We want to be succeeding. We want to spread happiness. We want to be, in our zone where we can spread this kind of positive feeling, optimism in life with other people. But if you are not joyous yourself, on what basis do you think that you can spread this joy to other people? You need to be joyous yourself first. Very important part of your life. This should become your personal motto, that you have to continue to be happy, and you have to be able to understand that it depends on you. You are the person who's responsible for your happiness. So if challenges come and you fail, you're obviously going to be unhappy, and then that's going to filter into everything else. Okay, that drops into every other area of your life, into people's lives around you, into the work that you do, in the way you speak, in the way you stand. And therefore your motto in life should be that I have to be joyous, I have to be happy, I have, because that will allow your mindset to grow as well as expand. It will become easier. The less difficult it is for you, the faster your mindset can increase. So what brings you the most joy is living your potential. Now, in the chat box, when I say living your potential, what do people understand by that? What do people think? What does it mean? Because no, we all talk about potential. I want to live my potential. What does it really mean to anybody at all? So, on the slide, if you see, there are three things, basic things. If we were to ask these questions to ourselves, our life revolves around these three things. So, three things that are necessary for a human being to live like they think I'm joyous, I'm happy, I'm all right. Even all right is supposed to be happy for some people, but I'm saying you can go 10 notches higher if you were living your potential, because the joy of applying yourself every time, winning every time, succeeding every time, using different parts of your potential. Sometimes it's your speech that wins, sometimes it's your thought that wins, sometimes it's your performance that wins. It's so many different things that you can bring to the table. And are you willing to put that potential out in front of the world? Because that's what is the primarily the thing that gives you joy, and makes you feel fulfilled, makes you feel happy. There is no stagnation. Keep growing. Even through challenges, you have to keep growing, keep moving, keep the momentum on. So you will still be happy. You may have the biggest failure of your life, but inside yourself, you know that you have lived your potential and you still have the potential to still beat a challenge. So, three things that all human beings always almost think about: what they believe in, what they desire, and to know what they have to do about it. This is where our life revolves. It's a triangle: your beliefs, your desires, and what can you do around it. So you need to ask yourself that question. Start digging deep. Ask yourself in your notebooks as I talk, when I'm talking to you on this slide, please keep making one or two, 3 points, notes. Ask yourself, why are you the way you are, and why do you do what you do? So this first part I'm just doing so that you can bring yourself into what we are coming into next when I tell you the framework. So where do you stand, where you are, why you do what you do, are you happy, are you sad, are you joyous, are you able to live your potential, are you the kind of person who can get things done, are you the kind of person who can take on challenges, can you solve issues? This is what life is all about. Real life is all about this. But what are we told? Real life is all about being a good kid, and then being a good girl or boy, and then being a good girl or boy in school, and then being a good girl or boy in college, and then being a good husband and wife, and then being a good parent, and then doing a good job. Now, that's a very wide definition. How do we define good? That is the important part. So, joy comes from living your potential. So, we're going to touch upon this potential now. When I move to, yeah, let me go to the chat box and see living by using, yeah, all of this. What if we don't get what we want after struggling like the job, then want 42 Sri Shaurya, I think. Yes, Sri, the struggle in life is real. That is exactly what we are talking about today. That once we have an infinite mindset, are you in a position to move forward from the struggle? Are you in a position to look for a different way to do the same thing? Are you in a position mentally to define your potential in a different way so that you don't struggle at it, but reframe it in such a way that becomes a learning lesson? So there are various ways to look at life in general. It takes a lot of work, because first 25 years of our life we measure our success with good grades, only to realize that the real value was in learning to learn, or maybe develop critical thinking that we don't have, because we have this linear thinking, which is developing a good mark sheet and going to a good college. We did not develop critical thinking. We need to be critical of our own thinking first before we can talk about anything else. And those are the things we did not do in school. So we did not learn to learn. We learned something, then we applied it in the exams, then we could not apply it in our life. And then what happened? And we realized, oh God, we spent 25 years. And then the next set of 25 years, what happened? We measure success by how much money we make, what job we have, only to realize that we were supposed to spend time with ourselves, to grow our potential and to be with people we love. Because after those 25 years of all the fights that we have, we come back to the same place where we are talking today. It's about you. So caring about you, thinking about you, building yourself up is definitely not a selfish thing. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. 20 to 30% of your life And I actually spend 50% of my life that way. 50% of your life should be spent on developing yourself. You got to keep moving. You as a person needs to grow. Your mind needs to grow. Your heart needs to grow. How does that happen? Let's come to that. And this is where your quality of life will come in. How many of you have heard the word quality of life? And we measure it with what? Our cars, our money, the kind of things we can possess. Um, very my possessions, the house, the kind of house I live in. That is quality of life in general terms. Authentic happiness, yes. Dr. Pratibha, fantastic answer there. Uh, uh, it is very, very important to understand that the quality of your life depends upon the quality of your thought. Your life and the quality depends upon your ability to flow well with what is happening around you. Flow well. Do you understand? Flow well. Flow well. So you have to flow well with what is happening around you. It could be a challenge, it could be a celebration, it could be a failure, it could be a mistake. Next slide is up here. It could be a sad day. It could be a happy day. It could be, fighting with somebody. It could be working on a very, very big project. It could be about money. It could be about relationships. Are you equipped in your mind to flow well with everything that happens around you? Are you? This is called self efficacy. Okay, I'm going to leave that presentation there, but you can make a note of that as well. It's an important part of what we are talking. One's sense of self efficacy can play a major role in life and how one approaches their goals, their tasks, their challenges. And what does that mean in simple terms? It is my ability, your ability in one's thoughts, in one's belief, and in one's individual ability to succeed in specific situations or in accomplishing a task. If I asked you, if you knew you'll be able to do it well, what would be your body language? How happy would you be? If you were in a position to do it, you knew you can do it very well. When a challenge comes, we get confused. When something comes, we don't know, we hesitate, we get nervous. But if you knew you could do this, are you in a position to feel good about yourself? So are you self-efficacy driven person who is built in thought and mind to a point that they know about their ability to succeed at everything? At this point, I'd like you to make a note of saying that now when I move, I will be so self aware that I'll try to succeed at everything. This is not the success of the outside world. This is not all the money and the fame that I'm talking about. I'm talking about your personal levels of success in your mind. So, for example, you're doing something and saying, "Okay, I want to sit like a CEO. I'm trying to be a CEO, so let me practice being a CEO." So you can actually sit down and practice being a CEO and knowing for yourself that, yes, I can. In my mind, if I can imagine, I can probably bring it to my life. Let me try to succeed. So the smallest thing, if you're even making a cup of tea in your house, in your kitchen, okay, and just look at it and say, okay, I'm going to make a good cup of tea. Okay. And if you say, all right, I have to sit with my family, make a meal for them, I'm going to make a good meal. You're going to go out with a friend, celebrate something, do something. You have to do something. You're going to go out to a party. You want to dress well. Say, okay, I'm going to be well dressed. This is the best that I'm going to put forward for myself today, not for anybody else, for me. So when you start putting your best foot forward, the self-efficacy element comes in and you start flowing well with what is happening around you. So what is happening around you is part of your environment. And therefore, if you are in a position to flow well with that, that becomes your most powerful and most tool in your own mind to play in your life, and it will help you fight any challenge, any goal, any task, because you would be conditioning your mind in a certain way. That means that each time then you go into a challenge or any issue, new spaces, you know for a fact your body and you will function at your best. Put your best foot forward. That is the important part. You have to cause it. Uh, then we then we come to the next slide. I want to you to take a look at this one. This is, you've heard this about, uh, heard this word called abracadabra. Okay, you heard of abracadabra, magic word. This is actually Aramaic phrase called abracadabra. It's an Arabic thing. Abracadabra, which literally means I will create as I speak. Okay, I will create as I speak. So one of the things that we want to do is to speak good stuff, right? So you can create a highest and grandest vision for yourself, because that is what you're going to become. So as you see this, please know, ask yourself, are you speaking the right language to yourself? Now, how many of us watch movies over here? So just say yes to me. Movies, we all watch movies. We watch movies. Yeah, I have also made movies. So I'll tell you what it is about, why I'm using movie metaphor. I'm using a movie metaphor. So it's a very startling similarity to our lives. Movies, we just go and see, oh, it is entertainment. No, no, no. It is a very, very important metaphor that you can use in your own life. So let me show you how a movie is made. It has a startling similarity to our life, because movies are usually about somebody's life. You know, some events are put in, some situations are brought in, a storyline is created, and there are some turning points in life, and it is a journey that one travels, and we spend 500 bucks to watch that journey on a screen. Do we all do that? Right? Yeah, animated movies, even though they are made in the same way. So we always have a theme, we have a storyline, we have a protagonist, we have a hero, we have a heroine, we have some incidents, we have some turning points, we have some failures, and in the end, you know, we reach a certain point. You know, we reach a certain point to say, yeah, this is what it was all about. Do you think life is like that? When you are the hero or the heroine of the film, this movie, you know, this always, it starts uh, with a person being a certain way. Always the movie starts with an introduction, and then it goes through all these incidents that have been created through the storyline, and turns out to be a winner in the end. Usually the hero is the winner, and our lives are like that film too. We are the hero, and some incidents, wherever we are born, some incidents happen. There is a storyline, because we go to this school, we have this friend, something happens in our area, and then we come out of it, and so on and so forth. And my question to everybody, what if you were one such character? What if your life was a film? Would your film be an Oscar winning film? You have the occasion today to make your life an Oscar winning film. When I started Success India, in my introduction, they say I'm the founder of Success India. Success India started the human potential. Yeah, somebody said, haha, I know, because I'm coming to that. Mine was haha too. Not at all. I was a failure, you know, because I was a lawyer before I went to became a human potential ambassador for the country. I wanted to do this, but when I practiced law, and I had to quit for to re-educate myself, and you know, leaving law, everybody called me a fool. Everybody said, you're an idiot, why are you leaving something so so lucrative for something that has not happened in the country, and god knows whether or not you will succeed, etc., etc. And I actually felt like I was making a mistake. And I cried, and I howled, and I talked to so many people, and everybody said I'm making a mistake, but in my heart somewhere I knew that I needed to do this. And I studied for almost 9 years before I launched Success India in the country, which launched the human potential industry in the country, and because of which I'm talking to you people today, which has succeeded beyond my own imagination. And it turned out to be a great film, because I then had to treat it like one more incident and a turning point in my life. But then I knew that in my mind, I got to make my life an Oscar winning film. So this is how we have to start thinking about our lives. It's a one lifetime. It is just one lifetime. You can't be confused. You can't be thinking of hundreds of things to do, not to do, and then stop. Don't stop. You have to make your life worth it, not for anybody, for yourself, maybe for your family, maybe for your parents, maybe for your children, maybe for your girlfriend, boyfriend, maybe for your wife, husband, whoever, maybe for your children. But this is something very powerful. So never make a choice when life is moving forward. You tell me what is more important, your leg or your arm? Would you want to do what society says, or would you want to do what you want, your heart says? So what happens is that we just keep choosing between the two. We have to live in this society, but we are the ones who build this society. So the more people who come out and who are able to make an impact on society, the better the society becomes. So let not society tell you what needs to be done. Know that it's your play field, and we got to navigate there, but make your life an Oscar winning film. Rewrite the script wherever you are in your life. Rewrite your script. Keep the Oscar winning moments from the past and make it something very, very powerful. Uh, I have I always tell when you make a film, you know, it's a process. So anybody over here has made a film. Anybody knows how to make a film. So when what happens is that this idea is conveyed to the audience. It starts with an idea. It is conveyed to an audience through creation of characters. Everything is actually fictional, maybe inspired. Characters are there, scenes are there, dialogues are there. They will use lighting, they will use music, they will use background music, they'll use background, they'll use color, and so many other things are used. And what are these things? These are things that are the resources that the filmmaker has with them. The filmmaker will literally manipulate your mind into showing sadness. Even the blink of the eye is used, a smile is used, light is used, everything is used. These are the resources that a filmmaker uses. So I want to ask you, are you using the resources that you have in your life at all? Do you know what these resources are? Now we've come to the interesting part of the presentation here. Let me take you to the screen now. So you see the movie metaphor is on the screen. You understood the movie metaphor? You need your life to be an Oscar winning film. You are writing your film. You can rewrite the script anytime. You can manipulate, if not manipulate, figure out a combination of the resources that you want to use. So you are in the driver's seat. The question is, what are these resources? So you have to engage with the resources available to you. And when I said mindset, and I started in the beginning, the biggest resource that is available to you is your mindset. So I'm going to give you a quick this thing to say. We will take a minute. The screen says 3 minutes, but a minute. Whatever comes to your mind, where your life is and where you want it to go, in 1 or 2 sentences, not more than that. Okay, you just write down where you are and where you want to be. So what your movie is going to look like, maybe a tagline, maybe a little description, but don't take more than a minute, and tell me in the chat box, and that keep that note for yourself too. Whatever comes up, without stopping, write, because from your writing, energy flows from what's running in your head. So it's a very important part of understanding that whenever something comes, keep writing, please. So it's an important part of learning how to run your mind and your mindset. The moment you write, your mindset will come onto the piece of paper. So you have to be able to know what's running in your head, where your life is. Is your life an Oscar winning movie? Can you make it an Oscar winning film? Is it possible for you? Do you have the resources? What are the resources? Okay. So I'm going to take you now to the next part. Now, this is a very important slide, and one always has to understand that this has to become part of your mindset, whether or not you agree with me. You can disagree with me, it's all right, but you will have to understand this and make it part of your life, and make it part of your mindset, make it a part of your conduct, make it a part of the way you live, because this is from the Bhagavad Gita. I'm not talking about it, Krishna ji has talked about it. Okay, so this is coming from Bhagavad Gita, not from me. So this success principle becomes a part of your mindset. Very, very interesting way to look at life. which will lead you to be happier and to be able to interpret life in a new way altogether. So the first part is that nothing thrives or survives in its original form. Whenever we do something, that's why somebody said stagnation, somebody said demoralization. These are the right words. This is the way we react to something when it doesn't look like the way we thought it would. So nothing thrives or survives in its original form. We need to understand that. Even the words I'm speaking, it may not survive or thrive in the way I am talking. You will receive it in your own way. While I'm talking, your mind is functioning at this point of time, interpreting what I'm saying in the manner that it works for you. So my original will not remain an original by the time it gets to you. So once you know that, all situations, if you see, you start out saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to come first in my class, but you don't. And you know what happens then? You are very sad because you decided on a particular version of things. You say, my drawing is going to look like this, today I'm going to look like this, and it doesn't happen. It evolves. Why it doesn't stay in the original form? Because everything evolves. And if we understand this process of evolution, when people who have gone through challenges, people who have dealt with things, they will realize that it did not thrive in the original form. Something else came up. And we don't accept that something else as part of our life because we want to believe that we did something right or wrong. So we want to slot things. Don't slot anything. Allow things to evolve. Know that it may not be occurring in its original form, and that's okay. Second thing, success or achievement does not travel in a straight line. Most of the times, when you will sit in sessions like this, things look very possible and things look very quick because I have done it. So, of course, it's a possibility for everybody, and that is why I'm talking to you. It is a possibility for you, but there'll always be a process. It's not a straight line. It goes through many ups and downs and many roundabout ways. And once we understand that, we will not give up because we give up on the way. 99%, I know people who have gone up till 99% and did not see things coming up because it was such a confusing way of leading to your success. Sometimes it was mistake, sometimes it was failure, sometimes it was what the world will say, sometimes it was your own inability to cope with what came up, sometimes it was the challenges, and people give up on the way. When you know it is not a straight line, you will not give up. Do not give up. Okay. Then the third part, right action is the key to all success and achievement. How do we know what is right action? Once you know right action, I just said, put your best foot forward. Even if you make a cup of chai, make sure that your mind is conditioned to a point which says, I am going to make a great cup of chai. So if today you make a cup of chai, it comes out in a certain form. Tomorrow is a new day, and you can still innovate on the chai. So today it could be plain chai. Tomorrow it could be what do you call, what is that? Ginger chai. Next day it could be dalchini chai. Next day it could be something else. The next day it could be served in a different way. Next day it could be totally different and done in a way which bring it from the south and come bring it to the north. Who stops you? Nobody stops you to be your best. So remember that you have to take right action, and we have to understand what this right action means. Right action in every circumstance, like I told you earlier, is a combination of resources. We just talked about the movies. What does the filmmaker do? It uses all the resources at his disposal to create a narration, a version of what he's trying to convey to the audience. And that is what we need to do with our resources. So, my spoken word, my awareness, my intelligence, my education, my smarts, my vocabulary, my thought processes, my mindset, my drive, all of them are my resources in some form or the other. And I have to choose the best variation of my key resources. So this success principles, this slide, please take a screenshot until you get it. Take a screenshot. This is the most important part of life, and to create a mindset that you have to follow for the rest of your life if you want to become a person of absolute success and not the worldly success, inside success. Because see, we are living not in a this is a three-dimensional world. So there is right now 4D and 5D also. People are trying to access that. But I believe this is a 10-dimensional world and we do not come with an instruction manual. So we got to lead ourselves through this path in a very, very powerful way. So the only way to do that is to know that you want to succeed in your resources. You want to come back home and say, I did a good job. You want to come back home and say, I could fight that challenge. You have to come back home and say, I was my best. This is very, very important. Now, okay, I want to tell you a personal story. Now, when I say resources, what are your resources? I'll show you. Please note three words. These are called circumstance, chance, and choice. Circumstance, chance, and choice. So I am going to give you a personal story. And this is when I was just 15 years old. And because you're seeing me on the screen, you do not know how tall I am. I'm only 5 feet nothing. Okay. As a 5 feet nothing person, I could not get a place in my school basketball team. And I was very unhappy because I used to play very well, but because of my height, I could not get into the team. And that left me very, very sad most of the time. But my teacher knew that I was a good player. So I would always go up to them and ask them, sir, can you have me on the team, etc., etc. And the teacher would say, no, not possible because of this and that. So the girls, minimum 5 feet 6 inches was the requirement. Anyway, as luck would have it, one of these days there's an inter-school match going on in the school. There are about 200 odd people around the court, and at that point of time, I think one member of the team did not come or something happened, and I was put into the extras, and I was sitting on the side bench cheering for my team. This incident I remember so distinctly because it changed my life completely. Probably when you hear it, you might remember your own incidents and remember the life-changing incident that you're not following in your life. So I was sitting on this extras chair and imagining, like we all imagine when we watch television and we watch Sachin Tendulkar playing, we all sitting from outside keep telling him how he should play. You know, we say he should have shot this. This could have been a better strike. Oh my God, we are shouting and we are all excited and animated. And just like that, I was sitting outside on that bench and thinking to myself, uh, what if I was on the field? And if I was, I would have done it differently. This is the thought that's running in my head. But I'm an extra. I know I'm not going to get on the field. It's just to fill the gap or the number. And in the mind, I'm also thinking that once this match is over, all of us used to get refreshments from the canteen. So it used to be samosa and Fanta and all those things. So that's also running in my head while I'm sitting and doing that over there. Suddenly, what happens is that this person, the captain of my team, falls and hurts her knee. Her knee is bleeding, and my coach quickly tells me to come inside the court. So they just signal to me, you move in. Now, this is the first ever time in my life that I have ever, I was ever on a basketball match. We played basketball, but ever on a basketball match. Now, this is the time when we were, what do you call it? It's a 30 all match, 3 minutes left to time up, and only one basket is needed. I get in at that point of time. 30 all, 3 minutes left, and I am standing in the court. So my extra mindset, the mindset of an extra is that you pass the ball to the next best person. We are not supposed to play. We are just filling in the gap. Okay. So I go in with the same mindset that I just have to fill the gap. You know, they call me inside, pick the ball, give it to the person who's the good person, who's the key player, main player, and keep doing that for the next 3 minutes. And this is what I was trying to do until the ball actually got out of the court. And this is around the center line and just right in front of me. So I got to throw the ball back into the court. Now, 2.5 minutes are left. Now, this is not 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes are left. And we are standing there. And I'm looking at all these girls and tall girls. I'm short. And I'm trying to see who to throw the ball to. So, like, you know, in a match, what happens? Everybody is shouting, throw the ball, give it to me, and jaldi karo, etc., etc. So I'm standing there absolutely confused. These huge girls are standing right in front of my face, and I'm almost intimidated by the way they are uh, aggressively pursuing the ball. Now I stand there and think, and suddenly my mind says, I just have to take one basket. We need one basket to win. And I'm standing on the center line. So I thought to myself, what if I actually made that basket look like an absolute impossibility? Look like an absolute impossibility, because it usually doesn't even happen in international matches. But it just came to my mind at that point of time, that what if I made that one basket and then we are going to win? Because if I throw the ball back into the court, 3 minutes are going to go by, 2.5 minutes are going to go by in half a second. And then it is going to go into a penalty shootout, which is an easier part of the match. So at the spur of the moment, I decided to move out of the mindset of an extra and move into the mindset of the player, of a key player. I said, now that I am on the court, I am a key player. So I do not have to function as an extra. So let's see what we can do. So suddenly I'm like trying to figure, can I do this? And everybody is shouting. And I realize I turn 45 degrees towards my basket, and I see it is about 70 feet diagonal that I was supposed to shoot, which is like that, like the height and everything that you measure. And suddenly in my mind, I can measure that. All that kinetic and potential energy comes into my mind. I wasn't even a science student. I've read it somewhere. But at that moment, I knew I got to get out of the mindset of that extra and come into the mindset of a player. And that is when the infinite mindset part in my life began. And I turned 45 degrees, and everybody is shouting, and my coach is looking at my face and says, what are you trying to do? And usually, if you know matches, we can't talk, there's too much noise. So people talk with sign language, and coaches will tell you, watch me. So I did this to him, sir, watch me. What am I going to do? So, and suddenly, like, they're all sort of by the side of my I can see they all did this, like, okay, what is coming up now? But now this was the point. I moved out from the mindset of an extra into the mindset of a player. I shot the ball and I got that basket. I have no idea how that happened. I am not taking credit for it, but I know that at that particular moment, I realized that I do not have to stay restricted in the mindset that I've been asked to stay in. So I gave you three words earlier, three words, that three unconscious principles that run in societies, that is circumstance, chance, and choice. So this was a very dismal circumstance. We are living in a circumstance. We're always blaming our circumstance. Okay, we have so many choices. We don't make those choices. We keep thinking whether or not I should make. So we had a choice. And then sometimes it happens, it's so bad. Take those chances. Don't allow yourself to be in a space or in a mindset which is finite, which stops you. Try to move out of it. Try to move out of it. So think about what do you call food court. A food court, if you go to a food court, there are so
Ma'am,
many
sorry to
stalls.
interrupt.
Yes.
Ma'am, we could wind up within a couple of minutes so that you can take one or two
Yeah, I'm just
questions.
giving you the last story. Yeah, just giving
Okay,
you
thank
the
you,
last
ma'am.
story. Okay, so life is like that massive food court, because so many cafes, restaurants to choose from. Each cafe has so many things to offer, right? So it gives us so many choices. We are supposed to choose, but once we choose, we are, yeah, chak de, think of chak de, yeah, 70 minutes. So we have to make use of every minute. So we are supposed to choose, and after we have made the choice, we pay the price. And once you pay the price is the only time you can eat. So you please know, each time you're making a choice, you are affecting your life. And therefore, before you make that choice, that mindset has to come in, that you have to understand your resources. You have to do it right. You have to figure out how to do it right. Understand yourself very well, because this is what is very important in life. Answer three questions for yourself. Whenever you do something, what do you want to experience out of it? Do you want to grow out of this? Can you contribute something? These are the three questions, basic questions that you ask yourself. Everything becomes a powerful, empowering experience. So we are living in a world where it's all about knowledge. If you can't do that, I don't think it is going to be a good idea. Let's all develop an infinite mindset so that we can become better people, become more contributive people, become smarter people. There is a tribe called Navajo. Last bit. It teaches their children every morning when the sun comes up. They tell them it's a brand new sun, okay? And it is born every morning. It lives for one day and then it dies. There's a tribe which talks to their children like that. So I like that story, because as soon as the children are able to understand, they grow up, are old enough to understand, the adults then take them out at the dawn. And then they say that, see, the sun only had one day. Sun, we see every day, so we think sun is coming out every day. The sun only has one day. You have to live this day in a good way so that the sun will not have wasted its time. It's not us, it's the sun who would have wasted its time if we did not use that one day. So acknowledging the preciousness of each day is a good way to live, a good way to reconnect with our basic joy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and
You're very
gracing
welcome.
the occasion with your deep, enlightening speech, ma'am. We thoroughly enjoyed your talk. It was highly informative. As a token of love and appreciation, I would like to present e-certificate for you. I request technical team to display.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.